Hello everyone, this is Cypherpunk, and I wanted to make this video today mainly for my friends, people who I know, who I've for a long time wanted to show all the different games that I love to play. I know I like a lot of smaller games that most people probably haven't even heard of, and I love showing them to people. I love explaining how they work, and you know, I got the idea that maybe if I just made a YouTube channel, I could post some of these different games, just my thoughts about them, and show them to people in my life, friends that I have, and then they can go there and see all the different things that I post, rather than having to hunt them down and give them, you know, all this different content and showing them all the different things that are out there. So we're going to try this out and see how it goes. And you guys let me know what you like about it. Give me feedback. Tell me what you think. And hopefully we'll have a good time. So today we are going to take a look at one of my most favorite games. I thought about this for a long time, what game I would love to start with. And I came to the conclusion it's going to have to be here. I have literally almost 100 hours over the past year in this game. And it is called Spacechem. For those of you who haven't heard of it, Spacechem is it's an engineering puzzle game. It uses design-based puzzles, which is actually really different from what most puzzle games do, and I'll show you what that is in just a moment. But yeah, I just wanted to show this to you guys. So let me go ahead and load up one of these levels here. If we start at the very beginning, they kind of give you some introductory explanation to this. Now, if you've never played this before, this is probably not even making sense what you're looking at right now. Let me try to give you an idea of what's going on, and just be patient with me, okay? Over here on this side of the screen, what you are going to see is molecule inputs. In Spacechem, you're doing chemistry, not real chemistry, it's kind of a fake chemistry, but the idea is to take the molecules over here and to output them over here, or rather, it's going to be right here. These little boxes correspond to the bigger ones here. So if I was to just run this real quick, this big box is sort of a chemical reactor where the chemicals are moved and assembled and stuff. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let me try that again. If I was to play this right now, you'll see the molecules coming in from this side. They go across here, and they get outputted to the other side. And as you may have already noticed, that you have a lot of control over how fast that goes. You can go even faster than that. So let's stop it for a second. So, how does this work exactly? What you have here are these little symbols. You see the little red and blue dots right here, and each one contains an instruction. Now, if you've ever done any kind of programming, you'll notice that these are very simple instructions, that these big Waldos right here, as they pass over them, they'll execute the instructions. So the first one we have is an in A, the red. And what you are basically saying is, I want you to call in whatever molecule is associated with A, input A. So if we run it right now, you'll see as soon as the red passes over it, it calls in the oxygen, and it's at the exact same position that it is in the little box over here. So the next instruction you have is for the Waldo to grab the molecule. And so if I start it again, you'll see as soon as the red passes over it, it grabs it, carries it in the direction of the arrows that you have. We have a rotation command here, which will change the orientation of it. Another arrow. And this grab and drop, this instruction basically means if you're holding it, let it go. If you're not holding it, grab it. So it's going to drop it right here. And this last one is out. I'm not really sure what the symbol is, out. Y, some kind of mathematical symbol. Probably a Greek symbol. But as you pass over it, what you're telling it is output whatever molecules are in this big box right here. See, and the molecule disappears out of it. This last one right here is called a sync, and so when you run a sync instruction, what it says is wait here until your partner, the other Waldo, in this case the blue Waldo, wait until it catches up to you. So they have to pass over it at the same time, or if one passes over it early, it has to wait there for the other one. Watch. So the blue one stops right here, and as soon as the red one passes it, the blue one can start again. And it'll do that over and over again. And you'll notice that the puzzle just runs over and over again until you've run it enough times to complete its goal. Why is that important? Well, the reason they did that is because you are designing solutions in this game that were not necessarily tested. There is no one right way to do any of these puzzles, and what they wanted to make sure was that whatever solution you came up with, that it was going to work consistently. So when you run your solution, you have to make sure that it's going to run often 10, 20 times without any kind of hiccups or glitches, so you can't just sort of cheat your way through it. So here we have another simple one. This is actually more simple than the other one, but we're using the other inputs here. So you'll notice A input is going to bring in gold atoms, and this one down here, the B input, will bring in platinum atoms, and the object is just to switch them. So the B's go to the Y's and the A's go to the W's. So if you run it, you can see it's just, see the platinum goes up there and that gold one goes down there. So finish that one. Now, the first couple of worlds on this game are actually pretty simple. They do a lot of tutorial in here just to help you get going, so if you're feeling like, whoa, my brain's probably not even up to this, don't worry. The difficulty starts actually relatively low, and they give you a chance to try to understand it and to get going. So I thought I couldn't handle it at first, but I'm telling you, if you give the game a chance, it's addictive. And right now you can pick it up on Steam for $10, and so it's a really awesome game if you get a chance to check it out. So this one right here, we're introducing something a little different. We're using these, let me reset that. We're using these little commands right here called bonders. And what a bonder does is, well, it bonds the atoms together, or it can unbond the atoms as well. You see that little plus minus symbol. So if we read it, it says adds or removes bonds from atoms when activated by the add remove bond instruction. Bonders can be connected by placing them adjacent to each other. Okay, so let's see what that means. Okay, the first thing we're doing is we're calling in the molecule for the red Waldo. It grabs it, synchronizes with the blue one, rotates it, and then drops it right here. Now, you'll notice they have this little bond connection right here. In fact, they have two connections between them. So what we are going to do is break those two apart. So first we're going to take another set of them and put them together. I think I ended up doing that just to try to make it more efficient. But this is what happens. It cuts those bonds every time the command is run. You notice it didn't even have to touch it. The fact that the blue went over the bond command activated these bonders right here. Excuse me, I got the hiccups right now. Anyways, so we run the bond command, set those down right here, and then this one didn't get outputted because it's in two different output areas, so it's kind of stuck right here as long as it has the bond on it. See, as soon as you cut that bond, no problems. Now you'll notice this is probably not the most efficient solution, and some people who are better at Spacechem might even be able to do better than me at this. This was a solution that I did really, really early, and I've actually gotten a bit better since then, but if you're better at Spacechem than me, then please don't judge me too much. But so let me show you right here. Try not to take too much longer on this, but I'll show you the idea of these industrial puzzles. You have those reactors, and then you also have these bigger puzzles where you're outputting to pipes, as if you were doing real work and making shipments. So in this case, we're trying to take the acetyl, well, not sure exactly what that is, but we're trying to take this molecule, output it to this cargo freighter, and the benzene gets outputted to this cargo freighter right here. And so if we run it, you'll just see that they come through the pipe right here, and you can see down in the corner what exactly they are. And it just goes through, and it starts filling up the freighters. And if we run it really fast, you'll see that they start to fill up with the cargo you need. This is a really simple example, and unfortunately it's never going to be that easy. If we look at something a little bit harder, we have one right here where we have hydrogen and chlorine, and you can't just output them. In this one, you need to combine them into hydrochloric acid, which is a hydrogen atom and a chlorine atom with a single bond between them. And the way that we do that is we come inside the reactor. So this right here is exactly what we've been doing before, just on a bigger scale now. So we'll take those atoms, put a hydrogen over here and a chlorine, bond them together, you can see that right there, and then once it runs over this instruction here, it gets outputted. The moment it gets outputted, it comes out into this pipe right here and goes out to the cargo freighter. And that's all it does. It just runs it over and over again, combining the molecules and outputting them. Part of the fun of this game is finding the most efficient way to solve different puzzles. So, like I'll show you this one right here. This is a little bit more complicated, not much more, but you have the hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. And this one right here, you get to choose where to put the reactors. You notice you get to choose how to put the pipes and how they're connected to each other. So you really have to work on efficiency. So in this one you're taking those and you're combining them, but you have a pre-step here, or at least I did in my solution. Yours might be different. You take the oxygen, you take the carbon, and in this reactor right here, that's a little extra arrow there, don't need that. So you take them and you start combining them together. And that's just half the work there, and you output it just like that. So now you've got these little oxygen carbons that are going up to this pipe here, and the oxygen carbon is combined with the hydrogen to make your full chemical product. See, it's got the double bond in the center one right there. Something a little bit more complicated, and it might not be, readily apparent how exactly that's working. That's alright. If you sit down with it, you try it out, you'll find it's probably not as difficult as you're imagining it would be, and I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those games where you can really sit down, just think about it, plan out a design, make a solution, and you feel incredible when you've sat there and it's, maybe you didn't do it in one shot, maybe it took you a day or two to work out a solution, but when you get it, it's one of the best feelings I've ever had gaming, and it's the reason this is one of my favorite games ever. So, I'll show you one more thing, something a little bit more complicated. I'll just kind of show off a little bit. I'm going to skip most of these worlds, but I just wanted to show you right here. There's this one puzzle that I really love where I thought I had a fairly decent solution. Yeah, you can see right now it's way more complicated. You got a lot more stuff going on. It's kind of hard to understand. Let me try to walk you through it a little bit. So the whole idea is you're being attacked. This is one of the boss levels where you're being attacked by a monster who's shooting at your base, and he's going to destroy it unless you can kill him. So the only way that you can kill him is with this device right here. It's not a reactor per se. It's actually it's a laser that you can use to shoot at the monster, but it has some rules for how it works. This is a VGM laser reactor. You have to input these ruby crystal molecules and then take the xenon from over here and combine it with that, and every time the xenon triggers with one of these ruby crystals, it will shoot the laser at the monster. And you have to assemble this thing using these parts down here, This was not easy. This probably took me about 4 hours. You can ask my wife. She was very bored while I was working on this, but I appreciate how patient she was with me. So you have random inputs, and there's a lot of other advanced stuff going on, but I'll try to just kind of walk you through it real quick, and think whatever you will. Take a look. So we've got the aluminum oxide is coming in. Okay, we have a little bit of extra oxygen, and the first thing I do is get rid of the extra oxygen. Okay, what I really want is these two pairs right here, and you'll see why in a moment. Okay, we're gonna go, whoops, overshot that. There we go. Okay, so we're taking the oxygen out of that and making those aluminum oxygen pairs. Perfect. Okay, so in the next one, we're going to take those same pairs and we're going to build this structure here. Now what this is right here is half of this structure right here. It kind of gives us this outer shell. So this was the route that I took for my design, and it looks a little something like this. Let me run it a little slower so you can kind of see what's going on. That's 2 pieces. It's made of 3 pieces. I can't tell you how proud I was that I came up with this. I didn't look this up anywhere. You know, it's just something I had to figure out. You know, how many games are there out there where you can't just look up the answer? You actually have to work to figure something out, you know? That's just the coolest feeling to me. So we've got these structures here. Let's see. We also have another type of piece that's coming through. Speed it up a little bit. Oh, I think I missed it there. Let's see. If you take, I need this one right here, which will be coming through in a second. So you notice when this one goes through, it just gets spat out on the other side. And we're going to take it over here and watch what we do with it. We take the extra oxygen. That just gets thrown away. The only thing we want is this chromium atom right here. We discard all the extra byproducts we don't need, and we just get that pure chromium. That's going to form the core of our ruby crystal. Okay, so now we're assembling the ruby crystal here inside the laser, and we got the chromium coming in from the other side. Let's see. So we got the structure. There's the chromium, gets put in the core, and the whole thing gets bonded together, and there we go. This was the moment right here. I can't tell you how proud I was when I figured this out. So your mileage may vary, but yeah, give it a shot. If you can, give it a shot. Let's see. So then we take that, and now we have to combine it with the xenon, which is basically just being outputted here. I kind of built it into this puzzle here. And then whenever it's activated, there's these little gates here that control the direction that your Waldo goes. In this case, it'll just grab the xenon and then send it to the laser for firing. And then we should see the laser fire whenever we hit F1. So if you just watch, there we go, perfect hit. Sometimes you'll get a double shot just because of how fast it's going. There we go. Big bad monster dead. So that's it. That's Spacechem in a nutshell. There's a lot more puzzles, a lot of crazy things that you can do with all the different components. And I mean, look at this right here. That's just, I don't think that I don't have that puzzle working right now, but with just these right here, could you possibly do this? Build this structure just like this? Apparently you can. I'll leave that to you to figure it out. This is actually supposed to be something else, something I was working on. But yeah, that's it. That's Spacechem. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video, and I'm planning to start making a lot more of these. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while because I love games, and I love telling people about great games. And so as I get, you know, more ideas and more games coming in, I'll start walking you through those, you know, maybe doing a few reviews or whatever. Leave me some comments, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and you guys have a great day. Take care.